Welcome to Stays Crunchy and Milk. My name is Tatum 216, or whatever you want to call me. It doesn't matter. But what does matter is the way you can reach us is
Stays Crunchy
at SKiMpod. That is SKiMpod on Twitter. And our email address is podcast@stayscrunchyandmilk.com. That is again crunchy with a K.
Stays Crunchy.
And if you want to listen to something a little bit more mellow, less dick jokes, you can listen to a podcast. It's our music discussion podcast, and it's dope.
Stays Crunchy.
I think I gotta say that we have other people on the show, and that's Lunchbox 2099, the real ODP, and Tayrell 713 is the other guy.
Stays Crunchy.
I think I hit all the notes. So, salt and pepper. I got some pepper. So you recently got a purchase. You bought an electric car.
Yes.
Tell me more about it. I'm intrigued.
Well, it's hard during the winter because, you get less miles in the winter because you got to...
Because of the sales.
Yeah. No, not... What? The sales?
Yeah, the battery sales.
Oh, the sales. I thought you said sales, like...
I heard that, but I knew he was taking somewhere, so I was patient.
All right. So, yeah. I mean, I gotta keep the car heated or defrosted so I can see out the windows, and that takes a little bit of a toll on the battery.
It's like playing videos on your phone.
Yeah, and it's not like I can just stop willy nilly anywhere like at the gas station. They don't have a lot of electric stations around our area. I don't know if it's different in like more progressive states where they can you just stop. There's an electric recharger on every corner, but no, sometimes I can't charge until I can get home. I like it. I got a seat warmer, and it doesn't affect the There's two separate batteries. There's a battery for shit like running your radio and heating your seat, heating the steering wheel, and I usually rely on that more than I rely on the other heater, which also goes on the battery that runs the vehicle.
Okay.
So where do you plug it up at home?
It's an outside outlet. It's got a it's just your standard three-prong plug into the wall, and then there's a special adapter that goes into the car.
So did you have to get a certain amount of surge? Like, you know how when you get a certain kind of stove, you got to change the amount of you got to change the amps in the fuse box.
If I want a shorter charger, because right now I have what they consider a trickle charger.
Okay.
It takes a long time overnight, maybe 14 hours to charge. But if I want one of those fast, get it done in half the time kind of chargers, I can get some electrician out there and upgrade the garage.
Yeah, that was my question. Yeah.
So I considered it, but right now I'm okay with the trickle charger. It hasn't been too much. It's just a vehicle I drive to and from work. The only place besides work I have drove it to, I recently took my boys to my cousin's birthday party.
Okay.
Is that the furthest you've driven it, or are they?
That's not the furthest I've driven it. The furthest driven it was probably driving it home from the dealership I bought it at.
Okay, so it was in Valley View, Cow Falls, that area, right?
Wherever what's that place with the jalapeno potato thingies? Spencer? No, not Spencer's. That's something else. Swenson's, yes. Wherever there's a Swenson's, they had a Swenson's by the dealership. I can't remember the name of the city, but I can remember there's a Swenson's.
It's Seven Hills, Independence,
Yeah. Where you get chicken from?
Yeah, so that's probably the farthest I drove it from.
Well, they just built a new Swenson's on Cedar and Green. I'm looking forward to going there and buying my girlfriend a burger.
I had the fried bologna sandwich when I was still eating meat.
Okay.
Why?
You tell me about that.
I liked it.
You was making bologna at a restaurant?
Do you not trust restaurant bologna, or do you have less trust for restaurant bologna than deli rolls?
Michael Simon over here, Lola,
makes his own bologna
every day.
I don't know if that's what they're doing at Swenson's, but I did enjoy the sandwich.
They pull that red ring off every morning.
Well, we in the building, as you can hear. Stays Rich Milk, episode 234.
We are always in a building.
No, we recording in the car.
Oh, damn, I wasn't there for that.
That's why he didn't know, people.
I knew I listened to the episode.
This is our first recording in 2018.
Well,
Oh, no, it's not.
no, it's not. Not our third?
No, this
Squad's our third.
Second for
This is
sure.
our second for sure, but this is our first one at 200.
Yes, yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So we out here, and it's a terribly cold day in the city of Cleveland.
Yeah, as my car's indicating.
Like, it's so bad. Like, I woke up this morning and it was like 5 and light snow, and I'm like, get the fuck out of here.
It's hilarious because when I'm walking into work this morning, like people are just like blowing past me.
Yeah.
Then I realized I was like, oh yeah, they're cold. I'm not. That's why they fucking running so fast.
Nah, man. I've been parking in the $8 lot. So, I just got to go across the street and then I come into the garage. But, so I ain't even been like, it's not that bad a walk. Literally, it's just like, literally across 2 streets, basically. And I drop down into the garage. So I've been just fine. And the $8 lot I can fuck with. I'm like, I can mess with that a lot now. See, the parking beneath the building we work at is $16 a day. And I can justify on certain situations. But I just been in the 8 lot and I'm like, I can deal with that. I can go with that. It's $8 early bird parking. So that's why I can fuck with that.
I'm in the furthest lot that you can pay at, I think.
The Riverview one?
Oh, no.
I mean, like the one with the pay machine?
Yeah.
That's what I'm into today.
Yeah, I'm all, like I've been there.
By the Flatiron?
Yeah, all winter. Like I wear my long johns. I got on my 40 below boots I got from
Why are you parking
Amazon.
there and not in the city one?
Because usually, sometimes I don't make it on time, and then other times they've been full like by 9 o'clock. Like
Shit, that means I've been getting to work earlier than you then.
probably always get to work earlier than me. Like after dropping off the boys and shit, I'm glad I even go to work. Sometimes I just turn around and want to go
I
back
parked
home.
in that lot for free last week.
Oh,
There was a day where
I do that all the time.
I was a couple minutes late getting down here. And I'm talking about the city one with the trucks. Yeah, I went in there and I went to come down there and they had the barrel in front of the inn thing already. And the trucks left.
Oh no, the gate is broken.
Yeah, I went in through the exit and I found one last spot in there.
Yeah, I've been thinking about doing that, but I haven't done it yet. Now that I have a ticket in my car, I can do it now.
I have 2 tickets on my dashboard.
Like, sometimes I don't pay in the $2 county lot with the credit card machine. When I got, it's coming up. I got to start checking one day I'm gonna start checking after work to be able to pay for monthly, because monthly is so sweet. Like you just parking this
Leave that bitch on dashing because it's wintertime. Unlike the summertime and spring, where it can be paid because it's in the sun the whole time.
Yeah. But yeah, our parking is a fucking racket.
Yeah.
That's the only reason I want another job. Like, yeah, that's pretty much it.
Parking's bullshit in general.
If we had a better,
That was angry and I meant it to sound.
But it's okay.
I don't know. Our mass transit system is suffering right now greatly because the great state of Ohio has been fucking us over here because they don't think people should be riding the rapids. I guess they think everybody should be driving. If you can't drive, well, maybe you shouldn't have a job and blah blah blah
What
blah.
happened to pull yourself up by your bootstraps?
Man, that's for white people and not for anybody who rides trains. So.
Oh, should I have added it to my list of white things I do? I pull myself up by my bootstraps.
So RTA, our regional area, has a $20 million deficit, and is having to cut bus and trains, cut into bus and train services, and talking about doing some layoffs later in the year. Because most of the state, a good chunk of the state, doesn't rely on. Well, you know what? Actually, that's lies. The great chunks of the state live in these cities that use this transportation, but people vote in people who are representative of the suburbs and of country cities who don't, and so they don't think it's worthy or worthwhile.
Just like Lunch was saying a couple weeks ago, like about the people who aren't affected by it don't try to make the change. Like like the late trans system, they're not worried about that. They're you live out in Willowick, you pay your $5 and keep it pushing. They don't care about the regular trains and stuff like that.
I was thinking of taking a rapper during the summer. I mean, when I don't have to drop my daughter off. So I'd have to get my parking. My parking comes out of my paycheck monthly, like just automatically. So I should I wonder if I get that suspended temporarily and then put back on when I'm back to driving again.
Oh,
You can keep this part. I'm worried about. Look, man, Puerto Rican time is real, all right, people? Island time is real. I'm running behind a little bit sometimes. My daughter, of course, my kids, they had to inherit half of my traits, and they inherited the Puerto Rican half that makes them late. So my daughter's dragging her ass in the morning, too. So I'm running behind, trying to get her to school and to get myself to work. I need, like, a definite parking spot because we got some people at my work, and I know this one dude's notoriously cheap, and I'll see him walk half a block from parking on the street just so he can save a couple bucks every month. I'm like, I'm frugal, but I don't think it's worth that much trouble.
Yeah, it's always like I get up around 6 o'clock almost every day, and every morning it's one. If it's not one kid, it's another doing something that they that gets things slowed down. The other morning, Emery and Anthony shit right before we left out for the house, and I'm like
synchronized shitting.
Yeah, and I'm like, Anthony, you know better, and Emery, I'm like, you really can't follow him if he shit. But it's always something like that, or I gotta make bottles. Like my mornings are always full. Like I try to do everything the night before, and then that'll be the night Emery drink 3 bottles.
Yeah, kids are like, fuck your plans.
Yeah.
My daughter's thing, God, I know other people would find this cute, but I'm aggravated because she's running like every couple minutes. Every time she does something like puts on shoes, puts on a coat, do something different with herself, she looks in the mirror.
Oh, yeah.
And I'm like, what are you doing? We don't have time for that. She's like, Daddy, I just want to see how beautiful I am. And I said, well, you are beautiful. You don't need to look in the mirror. And she's like, I don't she's like, I don't want to hear you say it. I want to see it for myself.
That's good that she's independent, but then,
But then she can independently take her own ass to school.
Yeah. Tell her to call an Uber.
Yeah, really.
It's just the same method it has been for years at this point. It's just how this works is I get up at like 5:30. I do that so if need be I can shower and get kids' lunches packed and just like fuck around for a little bit and so forth. I wake them up at 7. That means they have about an hour to do whatever they need to do. Just get up, brush their teeth, get dressed, kind of get their shit together, bring me their lunch bags from wherever they are so I can pack them and get on their merry way. And that works. If Lily, because Lily's the only one who would give a fuck, she'll be like, hey, Dad, you wake me up early in the morning. I wanted to do my hair. So I'll get her up 6:45. So basically 15 minutes early. So wake her up to let her get her day started. She'll ask, and I got an alarm on my phone that literally says, wake my kid. And I'll turn that alarm on if that's what's going on. So that system is in place and has worked now for years. And that's how we roll. So I'm out at the latest 8:05. And that's almost too late to get Xander to school because he needs to actually be there. But I drive Xander down the way to school, swing out, hit Detroit, and come on downtown. I don't hit Detroit. I usually cut over to Clifton and take the shoreway in. So I got a system and it works thus far. So
Yeah, I gotta get a fucking system.
I need a system.
the system only work when they can work with you. Y'all kids too young. Maybe your daughter's old enough to get within a system, but that makes you need to get into a system. And so
I told her tonight I'm going to come home, I'm going to take a screwdriver, because it's one of those, full body mirrors mounted to the closet wall, and closet door, and I'm going to take that mirror down.
I thought you were gonna say you were gonna give her like one in her room or something.
No, she does not have. Look, she has one in the bathroom upstairs. You don't have to look at the mirror every 5 seconds.
No, you don't have to. But your daughter's pretty cute. Maybe she just, she wants to look in the mirror, make sure, she's building confidence within herself.
Yeah.
That she's not going to need somebody to tell her, 10 years from now, when other little guys are starting to look at her, that she doesn't need that outside. She already has an inside. She knows she looks good.
Yeah. And I think like how she said, I want to see. She didn't say, I want to see if I look beautiful. She says, I want to see how beautiful I look.
like that in it.
Because it's nothing makes me madder than when I go to a store and I see a guy and his wife or girlfriend is buying him clothes, or his wife or his girlfriend is telling him, no, that don't look good. I just every time it's one of my biggest pet peeves. So sometimes I can't hold it in. I'll go support the guy. I'm like, man, if you like that jacket, get it.
Nice.
I always say that. I don't like that. That's part of my personality. But occasionally, I just gotta say it.
You're supportive of people. I like that in you. I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
but who knows? You gotta smack her 10 minutes before that.
But it literally is just you being like, my man, that works on you.
Yeah.
He might need to hear that. They both might have needed some
That's not what he
outside
said, though.
perspective.
He said,
He said if you like that jacket, he didn't say that he thought it looked good.
well, like something happens,
I feel like it's implied.
Yeah, like if you like it, I love it.
Yeah.
you might get an angry widow like confront you one day to like, that was the jacket that got caught in the subway door and you got dragged along the tracks.
I mean,
It's like, you'd be alive if it wasn't for that jacket.
If that bitch want to wait for me every day at Marshall's for 2 years, hey, that's up to her. But
It's asking a lot of you and a lot from you to make that happen, but okay.
that was Mr. Jenkins' jacket. He won on the day he died.
That jacket's cursed, I tell you.
Yeah.
Cursed her.
Hopefully, she can get it in within those 90 days and take it back if he died in it.
I like
this
the-
ain't got no blood in it. Take this shit.
You might have made that woman a rich widow. Hear none of it.
Maybe.
Somebody can get sued, right?
The jacket company, I don't know. Depends on what he's
It's your
doing with
fault,
the jacket.
Columbia. It's your fault.
I got some really disturbing news, fellas.
What's
not
that?
disturbing. I think it's wonderful. Some people might think it's disturbing.
Okay.
But today, probably right now as we speak, Amber Rose is getting a breast reduction.
Does she have implants?
No.
She's got big old boobs?
Yeah.
Back problems or something like, or she just...
She wants to wear spaghetti straps, she said.
I don't call it disappoint. Okay,
not
I didn't call it. I'm not calling it disturbing, but they're. I
mean, that was
I
just-
like them the way they are. I know I'm not her man, and she's like, well, I don't give a fuck what this random motherfucker says.
Well-
but I enjoyed them.
Savage 21 said, I can only suck 1, 2. Never mind. I guess that'll go over. But anyway,
it was work like that. I'm sorry.
I don't even know the one. If you go to Tammy Loren, she's like singing one of his songs.
Why would I do that?
Yeah, okay. But
You just keep naming people I don't know.
Ain't nobody trying to fuck with Tracy. No.
her name is Tracy?
No, that's what we all call it. That's, saying black folk fuck getting her name right.
But it was funny because like I learned from watching Superbad. Not only do they reduce them, but they make them a more supple size and
Yeah, they don't
contour
just suck the fat out. They just leave them dangling. No, they cut them nice. So
Yes. So I'm looking forward to this Joyce.
Are they
and
hurting
Jason.
her back, or she just wants to? She doesn't like the way they
he
look.
just said she wants to wear spaghetti straps.
Well, I heard that, but like,
That's her. That's
I don't know. I felt like I needed more than that.
I'm sure she probably.
You needed more than that. She didn't.
That's true.
I need these titties to stay the same. But I'm sure she, she had her reasons. That was just probably like her funny way of saying the reason she did
Truly.
it. Because she said she had the doctor asked her, when's the last time you wore spaghetti straps? She said 10. And then the pervy ass doctor said, well, you will be looking like you're 11 again.
Has she tried wearing them with the current titties?
Probably so.
So why don't you take a picture of that and put it out there so I can see it? And I can give her some, get some
What was
feedback
that
from the
model you
public.
used to fuck with back in the day that you used to love? Vita.
Vita Guerrera.
Yeah, where like...
Oh, I loved her back in the day.
Well, I heard she's still attractive.
Yeah.
Oh, no, man, what would have having to change that? Just age? You trying to say something, dog?
Yeah,
No,
she got older, I got
past
older.
tense, I didn't.
You say you heard she's still attractive. I'm not saying she's not.
Okay.
You saying you used to like her back in the day. I don't know how your feelings of her have changed over the years.
Well, I mean, and then it's Amber Rose's titties. I'm not gonna get some music artists together and we're gonna sing like a little, please stay titties. Don't
Like-
get rid of the titties kind of song. Like
See, that's a good look at them.
I like them the way they are.
They're lovely.
Damn, she's 43 now.
she
Vita?
Yeah.
She
Oh, yeah, and this is her boyfriend, 21 Savage.
she really loves rappers, don't she?
Sure.
Yeah, but there's not all of them have to be ugly.
Kanye's a very handsome man.
Oh, that's true. Kanye is handsome. She's like, but like that was peak, and she's gone like downhill since. Like,
No, oh my God.
Is it that bad?
Yeah.
it was a gentleman showing us how enthusiastic he
was.
liked them. How he liked them.
Ah, well, quite.
I forgot that she
I would have
posed
taken his
nude.
word for it.
She had.
Yeah,
I
she was in Playboy.
I remember she had
Yeah.
and then she did Playboy. I remember when she did Playboy. It was a major deal in that office. When,
Oh, yeah, because of...
Well,
MH.
Yeah,
Man, you're taking me
bought
back
it.
down memory lane.
Like, I remember those days.
I remember the days when Playboy was actually exciting too.
No, I'm just talking about those all or nothing days back at work. Like, somebody, I just remember that day, like everybody went into the cafeteria, like we got that Playboy with Vita in it, and I was just like, oh, y'all want to all look at some paper. But I mean, not to be like a bitch about it, but I bought that copy. I have a copy of it.
It's like it's the last Playboy I ever bought.
I have like 3 or 4. I have like the one that Kim is in, Kim Kardashian is in. I have the one that Vita's in. I have the one that Stacey Dash is in. You know, before she got political, and like the Fancy from Jamie Foxx, Garcelle Bouvier.
I think that's her name.
Yeah.
I've never in my life ever bought a magazine.
Well, you live in the.
But yeah, you
were born at a time where you could just look it up.
To me as I've
like
said,
you're the Buck Rogers of this podcast. Like you're the one who like lived all parts of the future before we even got to touch it.
Well,
Like you're a fucking Terminator.
I said this to my buddy
buying
yesterday.
magazines.
Yeah.
We're on our way to bowling, and he cannot get his fucking phone out of his hand. He spends every waking free moment on Snapchat, Plenty of Fish, Bumble, and Tinder.
What's Bumble?
Bumble's just Tinder, but the women have to message you first.
Okay.
Okay Cupid. He literally is on these nonstop.
Can I say there's too many apps that are described by like describing another app? Like, oh, this app is basically this
Yeah.
app. Like, yeah, okay, sorry. Go
But
ahead.
yeah, so like I'm at a traffic light, and he's just like, "Oh, look at this girl. She does this. She says she does this." I'm like, "What were you like before phones existed?" I'm like,
Look at this Game Boy. I got a high score. This is a pretty great high score. Look at
I'm
this.
like, can you imagine what it was like when you were younger and you were in a car and you had to actually talk to the other person about like topics in the world?
He had a Walkman. Look at this song. I got a CD player. I don't got to listen to you, Mom. This is anti-skip. Watch this. Shake it.
I'm just like, I'm sitting there and I'm like thinking to myself, like, this person is spending so much energy and time on all these things that don't matter. Like, you're spending all this time just messaging people that you're never gonna meet, and like you don't actually care about. You just want like them to like find you attractive, and then you move on to the next one.
If this is the same friend that I think you're talking about, that spent a solid hour and a half talking about how his jeans fit, right?
Yeah.
And you were so sweet to listen to that shit the whole time. But it's like, from what this person said, this is me psychoanalyzing him. I remember he was saying like his whole life is about seconds at a time, never looking about anything past that. Like he went on when he stopped talking about James, talking about how he never wants to be in a relationship. So with that being said, it's kind of like, you know, everything is temporary in his mindset. No matter what it is in life, everything is temporary. And that's just not a way to live, because past that 5 or 10 minutes that you get from this immediate gratification, that's all he. It's kind of like has that memento thing. Like once you get past that 5 minutes, he can't remember anything else. He only wants that instant gratification about everything, everything in life. It doesn't matter what it is. Like, oh, I can, you know, look at these reps I'm doing right now. Look at this, you know, great food I'm looking at right now. Look at this. Everything is right now. He doesn't have a mind for anything past that. Seemingly. No, not seemingly. I mean, I'm not saying like you know he's totally vapid. That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying like he just that's all he can think about. And you know what? In some regards, that's the best way to live for him. So what can you really do?
Well, that all took a turn. All right.
Yeah, I don't know how I'm going to transition to my subject, but all right.
Titties. Okay, go
No,
ahead.
what's not titties? What are you talking about, titties?
Now go.
Okay. Well, I mean, I had I don't know if this should qualify as That's My Boy segment, because it's fucking up a little bit. But,
How am I fucking up? That's the name of the segment.
my son got his first disciplinary note sent home.
Oh, okay.
For free school.
When you got your first disciplinary note?
I don't remember, man.
You should ask your folks.
I should.
You got a record.
I know. Well, that I was going to lead into a story about myself after this.
Fair enough.
Just you're getting ahead of me.
Would you
though.
pretend to be your dad again?
I only did that
Did your
once.
son pretend to be you?
No.
My son's not a follower.
So this is what he did. You know, the teacher actually really likes him. Actually calls him delightful to have at school. It's a delight to have at school. My son, a delight. Mm-hmm. Yeah, but yesterday not so much. He, well, first he said that the bathroom, the door to the potty was dirty. So his solution was to take a cup of water and throw it at the door to clean it. Problem is there was a kid standing in the way, and he said, "Oh, that was an accident. I didn't mean to get that kid. I was just trying to clean the door."
Okay, makes sense.
And then he said he was trying to help out with some cleaning, but he was getting a little wild and a little angry, and he was just throwing stuff all over the place. He threw I guess they had a toy shopping cart.
Okay.
And just tossed it.
Oh, okay.
And he's like, he had his reasoning for everything. I can bring up what my wife had to say about the whole incident, if you give me a second. But I mean, the teacher's like he's usually the light in class, but maybe we should start some kind of incentive system to stickers and whatnot to get him behaving again. Like, all right, well,
He just probably had a wild day. Was it? When did this happen? Yesterday?
Yeah, just yesterday. So
maybe it was because of the long weekend.
Okay, so this is what he threw. First, he threw the plastic grocery cart when I asked him to help. This is an email from his teacher. So this is the teacher. The teacher said he had a tough day. First, he threw a plastic grocery cart when I asked him to clean up before gym.
Okay.
And then following gym, he splashed water on the boys in the other class in the restroom. That was him trying to clean up the door. And finally, he dumped over an art project on the floor.
So what are the reasons for the art project?
He just said he felt wild.
And the cart said he was cleaning?
He was trying to help, but he was too wild to help properly.
So, have you been reading what the wild things are to him lately or anything?
He did read that, but it was not that recently.
Yeah, we read that all the time.
And I thought that wasn't the moral of the story.
No.
He's not ready for morals? What are you doing?
Yeah, maybe sometimes when, the kids are, with us home too long, like that extra day fucks it all up.
Yeah, maybe
like,
it's the winter. There's cabin fever. Where can't get out of the house. It's too damn cold.
And then like you just had time. Like I know at my son's daycare, he doesn't get to watch TV and shit. He doesn't get to just I'm gonna stop watching TV and playing with my Kindle, and they rather be doing that kind of shit. So you got that Monday like, oh man, I had an extra day of everything I wanted to do. Now I gotta be in this fucking structure. Fuck this grocery cart. Fuck that door. Fuck this art project.
I'm not gonna hold the door against him too much. If I'm gonna take him at his word, it sounds like good intentions to clean up the door. Just the execution.
He doesn't have a follow through for it. Now I don't know why he threw a cart, but I thought it was like one of those little aluminum carts, which I was fucking impressed. The plastic I'm not as impressed, but he felt.
I'm glad he didn't hit anybody with the cart.
I'm not. I love honestly, in my opinion, I think kids who get in trouble more as a kid get that shit out of their system, and they know how to be a better adult.
Which leads me to my story.
Okay.
I mean, I acted out at school, and I don't know if I've told this story on the podcast before, but I think I have told you guys, but I'm going to tell it right this time.
Tell it right.
Paints me in a better light than it
I don't know if that's right. If you say, hold on, let me.
No. The way it would.
Let's just give the honest representation of it.
I'm gonna send you the remix edition
and allow the audience.
Well, usually the way I lead the story is I describe what happens towards the end of the story rather than the lead up that got me to it. Okay, so maybe that is the problem. Okay, picture this. It's third grade.
Sicily. 1934.
It's third grade. This is a Catholic school. I have an older teacher, so kind of a strict Catholic teacher. We have like a nun as a principal. It's all that. It's bathroom break time. We go to the bathroom. Now all the boys in the bathroom are making a big deal about these pair of shoes that are in a urinal. Now they were in the urinal when I got to the bathroom. Everyone's like, oh, look at the shoes in the urinal, and they're daring each other to pee on the shoes. To pee in the urinal. No, sorry. Let me rephrase that. To pee in the urinal that has the shoes inside of it.
Who the fuck put shoes in the urinal?
We'll get to that.
People who work at our company.
Oh, is it? this dude telling a fucking Tarantino story like, okay, first the pee is more important than how the shoes got in the urinal.
Well, I don't know how they got in the urinal. They were in the urinal when I got there.
Okay.
But I'm
Look
like,
who we have here, boys.
they're all daring each other. I'm like, what's the big deal? I'll do it. So I peed in that urinal that happened to have shoes in it. Thus, peeing on the shoes, which is usually how I lead the story.
Okay.
But now that I've properly presented it, I don't look so bad. It makes it sound less like I peed on some shoes that some kid was wearing. But these same motherfuckers, these little motherfuckers that dared me to go pee on these shoes, went and told the teacher. They didn't mention their part in daring me to do so. No one mentioned, hey. I went and acted like all the teachers, parents, everybody acted like I whipped out my dick and started pissing on
Third grade, like 9,
8, 9.
Yeah, so,
Just whipped it out and started peeing on some kid's shoes that while he was wearing them, like he was standing
they
there.
weren't
like,
in the urinal, but personal responsibility has to come into effect because you knew there was somebody's shoes. Don't piss on shoes.
I know, but I would. Okay,
Please tell
that
me-
part was wrong of me.
Please tell me you got even with these kids. Like you neck punched one of them or something.
No, I didn't. Justice was never served. Sorry.
All right,
I was
do you
outnumbered by
remember
a lot.
their names? We need to look them up.
Yeah,
I can find some of them if I have to.
So how did the shoes get in the urinal? Who
I
put
don't know.
shoes
So that's
in
the thing
there?
is, like, they acted like I peed on some shoes that while some kid was wearing them. No one asked these questions. Why did this irresponsible kid leave his shoes in the bathroom? How did the shoes get into the urinal? What about the fact that they were in the urinal and I peed? I mean, I was just trying
They
to go to
were
the
in the
bathroom.
urinal. Possession is 9/10
Yeah.
for the law.
So did you tell them you just had to pee and you didn't know why the shoes were there? You didn't put them there?
I did. I don't think I was believable. And to be honest, I could have
At
waited.
that point,
If
what case were you up to at this point?
All right. It wasn't my first incident, so
There
yeah.
you go. So
Yeah,
it's not that I'm
you
saying
lost
they
that-
shouldn't have believed you. I'm saying
that plausible deniability.
you had credibility issues.
Yes, I had
and-
credibility
and
issues.
it just came off as bad for you.
I don't give a fuck if I was your dad.
Which is why, as a father now, your kid is like, I was trying to clean the wall off. You were like, he was trying to clean the wall off. You have no idea if that's the case, but you ride with it because you didn't have somebody ride with you.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm going to do. And if my kid ends up in the same incident, I'm gonna ask questions like, all right, whose shoes are these?
Oh.
Why were they so irresponsible with the shoes? They left them in the bathroom. Who put the shoes in the urinal?
Someone has to advocate.
At the end of the day, like, I will be the kind of parent that, like, when you okay, but I don't give a fuck what Anthony does. Long as, like, I'll give him all the lip service in the world, but when we get home, I'm like, you pissing them shoes. Good job, Anthony.
Well, that was going to be my question is, like, as parents, would you just have your kids back with whatever they
depends.
say at the school, but the moment you get in the car with them and you're alone, you
Like,
look at them and
fuck
say,
them.
tell me the truth.
I might do that. Yeah, and I also would say to my kid, like,
I do that.
isn't it?
Yeah,
all right,
what really happened? Be honest with me.
Yeah, just
And
like, I hear this bitch ass teacher out because I don't live with the teacher. I live with you. Always tell me the truth, no matter what it is. Even if you don't want to tell the truth in front of her, you want to talk to me about it at home or something. Like, have a conference at home because you only got to deal with that bitch 1 year. We gotta have this for life.
Yeah, we have dad and my boy privilege, so I'm not gonna dive him out.
I fully. That's just what it is.
And if
that's what it is.
someone's in the same situation, I would in front of the teachers, I would say, hey, I mean, okay, my son shouldn't have done that, but come on, let's hear me out here. Why are these shoes in the bathroom? Who's being irresponsible with my shoes? If I have shoes, they're on my feet or they're in my locker.
Yeah.
Not just randomly left in the bathroom. Mm-hmm. If somebody took that kid's shoes and put them in there, then
Did you have to pay for the shoes?
Well, I didn't have a job at the time, so I had no money. I don't know what were the consequences, except I got in trouble and I had to do a week in the principal's office.
Oh shit! I feel like
They had a conference about it and everything. Like, damn, he wasn't wearing the shoes.
Yeah, for sure.
I did try to lie and say, well, I had to go to the bathroom and that was the only urinal available. But how do you fucking
listen. You can say I tried to pee around the shoes, it just didn't work. I had some splashback.
I came from a different neighborhood. I was like my first school year in a suburb.
Yeah.
Before that, I was going to Cleveland proper. I never heard of daring somebody to do something. They do that something, and then you dime them out for doing it.
Oh yeah.
Because you don't. It's disrespectful.
Don't. That's
It
fucked up.
It was like the first couple years of the internet, and we were at the library. This is before they put restrictions on it, and it was a bunch of kids in the library, and this dude was like, go to Playboy.com. I was like, no. Like, go to Playboy.com. And
Wait, grown man?
No, they were little kids.
Oh, okay.
And the little kid, like, you know, put it on there and push enter. And then he was like, "Oh, look, he on Playboy." I punched the shit out of him. I was like, it was like a reaction. I was like, ugh. He was like, ugh. And he ran to the library and told her, like, he punched me and he on Playboy. And then she was like, I was like, first of all, I didn't put it on Playboy. He did. He was just trying to tell on me. And he was just like, I'm gonna tell my brother. And then I was with my friend Doug. He was like, don't tell your brother. Like, his brother was like, supposedly like a big tough kid. He was like, don't tell your brother because we don't want to get Anthony shot. And I was like, look, fuck him, fuck his brother. I didn't do it. And then like I just had to like stay away from that library for a little while. Yeah. But
I had to wait for the heat to die down.
I did. And then I remember I seen that little kid another time. It had to be like 2 years later. He was like, you the one that punched me at the library. I was like, I did. And then I was like, you ain't gonna do shit.
There are a few people that I wish I could see from my childhood now.
Yeah.
So they can get their comeuppance from me.
Yeah. Like, I don't know.
Oh, motherfucker, you had me jumped when I was in 5th grade?
Have you ever seen anybody, you haven't seen anybody like that like now, and you just kind of like see him, you're like, oh, you kind of doing bad. I don't care anymore.
See, as a fellow human, I'd be like, oh man, life's tough. But then in the back of my mind, I had that like feeling of, you fucking had it coming.
Yeah, like I remember like a couple weeks ago.
I never did shit to you, and you had me jump 3 times. Fuck you.
I think we should just go find them. But I remember like a couple weeks ago after recording, I went to Taco Bell.
Yeah, I recall this.
I seen like this dude I grew up with. I'm not gonna say I didn't like him, but you know we weren't the best of friends. But like me and his younger brother were closer, and I seen him, and he wasn't doing very good. Usually I keep like an emergency dollar in my wallet, and I gave it to him. We sat down and talked for a little bit. You know, talked about his father. Man.
Like, I'm not wishing death on anybody because that's too final.
Yeah.
But if I were to like run into this person and he'd be like, "Oh man, times are tough. They cut my hours at the plant." I'd be like,
the plant.
"Oh, suck a dick, suck a dick."
The plant is too good for him.
I can make some good money doing that, and he would think you're trying to be his friend.
I think more likely like, oh man, did they cut your hours at Walmart again? not more. At the plant. They usually not at the plant. They're usually at Walmart.
I'm just being generic.
All right, this is a joke.
You're being generous. Is what you
This is the joke I can use.
No plant.
Here's a joke I can use and you can leave this on the show, but this is just for you guys because I'm not going to clarify. I often think about like, man, I'd like to run into somebody who used to fuck with me at work. Yeah, like, oh, look what we have here.
Yeah, there are a few people too that I used to work with. They could get some real truth.
Oh no, I mean like the people. I'm
He
saying
made it his particular gig.
Oh,
yeah, people who I used to, you know, when I was a kid growing up, or like all of a sudden I'm like, oh man, I remember you from back in the day. What do we have here? But
cup of haters.
Well, that was episode 134 of Stage Krunchy Milk Podcast.
so we ended on a different joke though. That was like a joke for 3 people.
It was for us, and every now and again we do things for us and not for you.
I'm selfish. My hours at the plant did not get cut.
So we out here. Hope you enjoyed this. We'll be back again next week with some
Future
more of
headline
this.
real fast.
And it'll be lovely.
Think.
So that's how you have it. That's my man Tatum 216.
Yep.
That's the homie Lunchbox 2099.
Working on factory hours.
That's the real ODP.
Breaking news: by the time this podcast comes out, Vanessa Del Rio will have something interesting to say about Donald Trump's father.
Whoa. Having stings in this actually quite possible in this day and age we live in. I am the internet's Tabriel 713. I got shouted out on the Monday Festival by my man Neil Charles.
Oh well,
Neil Charles was on Chris Lambert's podcast and gave me a shout out. So respect to my man Neil Charles. FTW, that's Neil Charles for the win. And you just got podcast too, and I know you loved it. Peace.
Adios, muchacho.
Hey, what happened to you? You used to be beautiful.